I thought pulling down a statue of a slaver was a no-brainer. Even as someone who spends a lot of time at the coalface of anti-racism or at the coalface of equality, it never crossed my mind that pulling down a slaver would cause outrage, or that you would be able to whip up a frenzied mob, not quite calling for it to be put back up again, but certainly calling for the people who pulled it down to be punished in the roundest of terms. You must have been one of the least surprised people in the country by the aftermath of that moment.
I was surprised because when I began my book, it was such an esoteric subject.
Yes.
You know, and then suddenly it's on the news. I remember sitting with my nieces and all of us stunned that it was on the news every day for a week. And so I think there's a whole new generation of people who are really feeling strongly about colonialism and how it explains systemic racism. But at the same time, you have this backlash amongst a sect of right-wing Tories who realized you can sow division around empire and it plays really well. So we had Robert Jenrick the other day writing a column on why we need to introduce legislation to protect slave statues or protect statues. In the week, it was revealed that we had the highest death rate from coronavirus in the world. Why did he do that? I think they've realized that it plays well in focus groups and with the public. There's an idea that to be proud of being British, you need to be proud of British history, even though it's 500 years and very complicated. And so they're just playing it in the way they played the public with Brexit. Instead of the EU, you now have British imperial history. You have woke people complaining about British imperial history. It's really cynical.
Oh, yeah, it is, and it's also pretty simple. Probably more simple than people like you and I allow, or people like I allow. You've explained it perfectly because you want it to be more complicated, and it's even more insulting for the people you're critiquing when you describe what's being done to them as a really two-dimensional, utterly transparent bit of sort of demagoguery-driven con job.
Totally.
But they are. Go on.
And Churchill, Boris Johnson did the same.
There's a mistake not many people make, except perhaps Boris Johnson.
he wishes. But at the start of the pandemic, you know, I think he wrote a column, or at least said that he was going to protect the Churchill statue with last living breath, even though no one was going to tear down that Churchill.
Yes, of course.
Statue. No one was going to do that. And also, why? Why didn't he just concentrate on the pandemic?
Because it works, and this is what is simultaneously, I imagine, for you so dispiriting and yet also so exciting.